Hello, Lisa here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a spread walkthrough, and because this is basically all things Buffy the Vampire Slayer month for me, we are going to do a couple of Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot spreads. So I'm going to take you through two different spreads. I'm going to do two different sample readings. I'm just going to play, nothing fancy. If you want to learn a new tarot spread, there's two here for you, neither created by me, so I will have the full credit down below for the creators of both of these spreads, so you can watch their original videos and show them some love also. But for now, let's get into it. The first Buffy the Vampire Slayer themed tarot spread we're going to go through today is called the Buffy Spread, and it is by Divination. That channel will be linked down below, and it is a 7-card Buffy the Vampire Slayer themed tarot spread where each card represents a different character. So 7 cards, each representing a different character as a kind of a general spread. So I'm going to do this as if I'm reading for myself, and we'll just see where it goes. I keep telling myself I'm going to shuffle this the other way around, and then I keep not doing it. But I don't really know that it's going to help this terrible cardstock, but that's okay. I'll give it a couple just to say I tried. I mean, it's the same. Like, let's be honest. I will say it's very easy to shuffle. It's a little floppy, as I mentioned in my ridiculously long Buffy walkthrough video, but it works. It gets the job done. Okay, so I'm not going to lay out this spread the same shape that Divination did because I don't have the room. So I'm going to lay it out kind of this direction. So card number 1 represents Buffy. And so this card, I usually lay my spreads up face up, so I'm just going to do it that way. I don't need to change my methods. So card 1 represents Buffy. Card 2 represents Willow. Card 3 represents Xander. Card 4 represents oh, I keep bumping my camera. Card 4 represents Cordelia. So let's bring this over a little bit here. Then we have 5, which is Giles. 6, which is Spike. And 7, which is Faith. I'm a little irritated that Angel doesn't have a card, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to roll with it. So the positions are described thusly. I don't usually use thusly in a sentence. I don't know where that came from. But anyways, so in Buffy, we have what demons do I have to slay? So what demon do I have to slay? What am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish? Or what wall am I trying to break down? We have the Ace of Stakes. So to me, this is a card about inspiration. And this really makes a lot of sense because I'm definitely feeling a little disconnected from my inspiration lately. My own personal self. So this really stands out as like, okay, this is the thing. I want to get reconnected to my inspiration. I want to feel that inner fire again. So how can I do that? Let's take a look at the next cards and see if we can find out. So this position, which is Willow's position, is about how I can increase my magical or my intuitive prowess. Like, how can I improve the situation for myself? And I have the 5 of Pentacles. So to me, this is about sort of kind of feeling cut off or withdrawn. This also lines up for me with that feeling. It sort of feels like it's reiterating what the current issue is more than how can I increase it. But let me think about that. So the 5 of Pentacles, we are feeling sort of out in the cold. We're sort of down on our luck, so to speak, but there's help nearby. We're just not looking in the right place. And aha, there we go. If I want to increase my connection to my inspiration and my inner power, my inner fire, then I maybe need to look in a different place. And one of the places I haven't been looking the last couple of weeks as much as I normally would is into my tarot and into my magical practice. So I need to lean into that pretty heavy if I want to find that inner fire again. So that's good advice. Let's see what I get in the next card. This is Xander. Where do I need to not take myself so seriously or take myself less seriously? Temperance. This is a really important one, I think, because temperance is about moderation, staying away from extremes, and finding the balance in all things. And I kind of feel like an area that I need to like lighten up is definitely in trying to feel like I need to be all things to all people, including myself, all of the time. Like, it's okay to be in a slump, or it's okay to not be feeling as inspired or not as motivated. We're going to go through periods in life that are like that, and it's okay to not always be in that perfect place of balance all the time. So I think it's a little reminder that, like, I need to be gentle with myself. It's okay. The third position, or the fourth position rather, here is our card representing Cordelia, and it's how can I pamper myself? And it's the Strength card. And this actually makes a lot of sense because one of the things I've been getting a lot of enjoyment out of these last couple of weeks is I've been playing my Beat Saber, my virtual reality Beat Saber game a lot, which is a physical movement. I've been finding a lot of personal solace and comfort in physical movement lately. Like, I feel like it's something that just I need to do right now is just really move. So I've been doing a lot of that sort of thing, and it's been really helpful. Under here, we have position number 5, we have Giles. Who or what is my biggest teacher in this situation? The Four of Pentacles to me is a card about research, like sort of conserving our resources. And so one of the things I feel like I've definitely learned or been learning in these past few weeks is how I can do a better job of holding the resources that I need for me, and not feeling guilty about that. Like, it's okay for me to not, say, put out as much video content as I might want to put out, or get as much, be as productive as I'd like to be. And I think perhaps my feeling disconnected from my inspiration and motivation is also because I'm struggling to just have a period of rest, so to speak, to conserve my inner resources. And I need to remind myself that's a healthy, good thing to do, that I can learn from that and take that forward even as everything starts to rebalance. In the 6th position here, we have Spike, and Spike's position is, how can I release my attachment to caring what other people think? This is so great because the card that's come up is the 6 of Cups from the episode Band Candy. Here we have Giles and Joyce literally not giving a crap what anybody else thinks. They are literally being inner bratty, rebellious teenagers and doing whatever sounds good to them in the moment. This is such a good teacher for me right now. Just remembering that, like, I don't have to always be working or being productive, that I can just let go, let loose a little bit and not worry about what that looks like, just not worry so much about how other people will receive that, but to recognize that it's okay to have fun and to play. And card number 7 is the card representing faith. Where and how can I be more of a badass, or tap into my inner badass, something like that. The Knight of Cups, this is William, or Spike before he was a vampire, and it's all about following your heart. So for me, and this just makes so much sense for me, I've always said that the word I've used for myself is vulnerable badass. Like, I really like leaning into my vulnerability as a way of embracing my inner strength and power. And so I feel like this is just a reminder to get back to that space and let that be my driving force going forward. Hopefully that makes sense. So quick recap of the positions. So we have Buffy in the first position. This is, what demon or demons do I have to slay? Then we have Willow for, how can I increase my magical or intuitive powers or prowess? Then we have Xander for where do I need to take myself less seriously? Then we have Cordelia for, how can I pamper myself? Giles for, who or what is my biggest teacher? Spike for, how I can release my attachment to what other people think, and Faith for, where and how can I be more of a badass? So that is the Buffy spread by Divination. So the next spread I want to go through real quick. And again, this is just a just for fun video. I'm not like spending tons and tons of time on each of these, but I want to do the other one as well. And this one is called the Slayer spread, and it's by Rumor Haven. So again, I'll have links to everything down below. But the Slayer spread is sort of, it takes you into that sort of energetic space of actually slaying a vampire. Kind of, sort of. I'll show you. And Rumor talks about this in 2 different videos, but most recently during her own walkthrough of this Buffy Tarot. All right, so the spread positions are, we start with position number 1, and this is basically the heart of the issue, or what we're slaying, essentially. And then we have 5 cards kind of going into this card. So we have position number 2, which is the source, my source of strength, so my source of power. Then we have how I should apply my strength. So if this is like holding the stake, this is the top of the stake. So it's a stake going down to the heart. So we have, what did I just say? My source of strength, how I should apply my strength. Then we have the first stop towards my target, the next stop towards my target. I feel like I need more space. Hold on. We're going to go this way. This is better. Yeah. That's better. Okay. So we have source, how I apply my strength, first stop, and next stop. So the steps I need to take, first step and next step. And then what I ultimately need. So what's the thing that's going to drive this point home? I've got to have this card up a little higher. And that is that position there. And then the last position sits up here, and this is the dust. So after we slay the vampire, so this is the stake, this is the heart, the dust is what's left. And this is essentially either the outcome or it's sort of what I need to release in the process. All right, so there can also be additional cards down here. So Rumor talks about having 3 tombstone cards as the sort of underlying issues. So you could do an oracle deck here, or you could do more tarot cards here. I'm going to skip that step for this and just walk through the main positions. So we start off with the heart of the issue, and we have the 2 of chalices, 2 of cups. This is about relationships and connections. So this is the issue I'm really working to process at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Let's take a look first at the source of my strength. The Page of Scythes or Swords. Now, this is a card all about curiosity, being willing to learn, and like take away what lessons we can from every situation in life. And that's really the source of strength for me, is realizing that not only have I learned from past experiences, but I have the opportunity to continue to learn from current and future situations. So that is the source of my strength. I can apply that strength, so that's what this position is for. I can apply that strength, Six of Swords, with recognizing how far I've come, like the areas in which I know that I have done my work and am good. So I think this is about remembering that like I have already succeeded in many ways in doing the work that I want to do, and to just kind of hold those successes close to me. The first step on the way to sort of dealing with this, the first step, the Two of Stakes, the Two of Wands. This is about considering all possibilities, looking at things from various angles before sort of settling on what I really think, believe, feel, etc. And this sits here as the sort of first step, is sort of sitting in this space of possibility. And in my life and in the situations I've been facing lately, I feel like I've definitely done this. So I feel like this is very affirming for the work that I've been doing. Oh, the next step is, to me, this is about accepting loss, accepting pain, accepting, this is the Three of Scythes or the Three of Swords. I don't always read this card this way, but in this context, I will. To me, this is about acceptance and facing up to the difficulty, facing up to the difficult moment, and then moving through it. Next up, we have the Four of Stakes. This is the position of like, what's going to drive this point home? And for me, the Four of Wands is about small victories, little milestones, recognizing that we've reached the point we're supposed to reach in the journey, but we're not done yet, that there's still more work to do, as there always is. And there's also a piece here around sort of stability of home and like protecting that stability of home. That's what's happening here when Buffy's slaying vampires right in the heart of Sunnydale. She's protecting her home, and there's nothing wrong with that. The thing that I need to, so that's what's going to kind of drive the point home to dealing with this issue around connection. Does that make sense how I've been interpreting it so far? And then we have the dust, and this is the thing to take away. Like, this could be the outcome, but this can also be, I think it's really about outcome here. And Four of Cups to me, everything else, all the other meanings and interpretations aside, this is about emotional stability and recognizing that you have all you need from an emotional perspective. You don't always need more. Sometimes it's about gratitude for what you have. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, and I think that's a valuable lesson to take away. So that is one example of how you could interpret this Slayer spread by Rumor Haven. I hope you guys try these. I think they're a lot of fun. I think this spread in particular is really good for looking at just about any situation and thinking about the ways that it might apply. I thank you so much for coming with me while I geek out on more Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot stuff. This is my last video related to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so if you are not into Buffy, you are officially now off the hook. I'm making no more dedicated videos about Buffy for the time being, but thank you so much for hanging out with me while I went through these. This was a lot of fun. Please do check out the original videos of the creators of both of these spreads down below. I will also have a link to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot and my walkthrough of that deck, which I encourage you watch before you buy, or at least watch other people's reviews before you buy, because the deck is not without some production issues that are worth knowing about before you spend your hard-earned cash. That being said, I do really love the visual interpretations of the cards and the associations. I think those are excellent. So on one hand, highly recommend. On the other hand, be careful. So with that said, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And until next time, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.